Afternoon, guys. It's Workin, bringing you a very quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollar. This is the 4-hour chart on Coinbase. And guys, this is going to be a little quick today. I'm kind of running out the door here, but I've had many people kind of direct message me and wanted to get out a very quick update. So Bitcoin, since we talked last time, guys, we were eyeing 4,000. I told you guys that that was going to be the next major resistance area that we were going to need to break through. And I told you that we would even possibly be looking at a short up in this area between 4,000 entry between 4,000 and 4120, at least looking on Coinbase. Price did come up, almost tested that 4,000, didn't quite get there, got up to about 39.95, somewhere thereabouts, very close to that 4,000, and then we broke right back down here. Kind of zooming in here, what are we seeing? We're seeing that the price is creating what may be a broadening wedge. A broadening wedge typically does break up, but we'll have to wait and see kind of how this ends up playing out, guys. That certainly isn't all the time. And this market, being what it is, guys, with the manipulation, the amount of manipulation going on, I don't put a whole lot of credence into that. So if you wanted to enter into a very quick scalp trade right now, to me, it looks like we may end up breaking back up and possibly double topping from this prior high here, right around 4,000 before breaking back down. However, if we are able to break above that 4,000, I think it could be a very quick rise up to that 4120. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out. So if you want to enter into a very quick scalp trade here, I'd have a very tight stop loss somewhere around 38.40, somewhere thereabouts, guys. Entering into a trade here around 38.90, 38.80, and targeting about 4,000. In my opinion, wouldn't be a bad scalp trade, guys. I'm not going to take that personally, but again, guys, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you did want to. Again, not financial advice at all. If this does break down, guys, below this little ascending support line that it's developed here, I think it could be a very quick drop down to that 3,800 at least. We'll have to wait and see. If we do drop and 3,800 acts as support, that's going to be an extremely bullish sign if that does happen. If we can come up here and break above that 4,000, guys, and just at very least consolidate into this zone, guys, again, that'd be an extremely bullish sign. Nothing has changed. Zooming out here to the daily chart, this is the key area that price needs to break above, is that 4120. Until price breaks above 4120, guys, this is a nice bullish looking move. It does have volume behind it. At least it had some nice volume behind it. Still does somewhat, but relatively speaking, over the last few days, this is a nice increase in volume, but overall volume is still weak. In other words, this is still open for manipulation, guys. So remember, keep that in the back of your mind. Until we do break above decisively above 4120, by decisively I mean a daily candle, both opening and closing, until that does happen, we are still in an overall downtrend here. As is evident if I pull out here just very, very quickly, looking at the, in fact, I'll even pull out here to the monthly chart. Looking at the monthly chart here, guys, we can see that clearly this is still an extremely bearish looking chart here, guys. And until we can take out this prior high right here, which again sits at about 4120, until we can break that out, take that out, guys, this is still an overall downtrend. Now we do have this ascending support line here to hopefully catch price if it does come back down here. We'll have to wait and see. If that ascending support line here does break down, could be a very quick drop to that $3,000 level. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. All right, let's go over here and quickly look at volume. Volume today sitting at about 8.1 billion. That's a little bit of a drop off. We were at 8.6 billion yesterday, 9.9 the day before that. So we had a nice spike in volume from about 5.9 to 7,000 on the 17th. On the 18th, a continuation of that, 9.9. On the 19th, 9.9. And then yesterday, we slowly started dropping off. Today, we're still slowly dropping off at about 8.1 billion, which is fairly expected, guys. So this is going to be that time to see if price can do what it's been doing here. If we come over here, pull back into the 4-hour, we can see if price can continue to slowly kind of trickle up as it has been here. If we can continue this series of, nice breakup, consolidation, nice breakup, consolidation, if we can continue that, if that does, extremely, extremely bullish, guys. But we know we've been burned many, many times in the past. So again, I'm very skeptical until we can take out this prior high. All right, looking at the 4-hour, we can see Bollinger Bands are starting to constrict here. That would suggest a possible larger move to come. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see it kind of move sideways here for a little bit, just to give a little more time for these for the 55-day to get a little bit closer to this 21-day EMA and 8-day EMA. Typically, when you see the Bollinger Bands constrict, as well as the exponential moving averages start to converge on each other, the 821 and 55-day exponential moving average converge on each other, that's when you expect that larger move to come. That being said, guys, we could see it really at any time with the the Bollinger Bands as constricted and as bottlenecked as they are. So this doesn't tell us if it's going to break up or down. It just suggests a larger move is to come. So I'm going to kind of keep an eye on that, guys. And again, if you wanted to slowly start dollar cost averaging in for the long haul, as I've been saying for the last few days, that's not a bad idea at all if you're planning on holding for the long haul. For you day and or scalp traders, though, guys, I would kind of just sit in my hands, kind of wait. Again, if you want a quick scalp trade, picking it up where it is now, possibly targeting 4,000 with a very tight stop loss, wouldn't be a bad idea in my opinion. But overall, if you want to play it safe, you want to protect your fiat, I'd wait for that larger move to come before you make any kind of a move. Now, looking at our again the 4-hour chart, guys, looking at our indicators, we can see that obviously price has been creating a higher low here each time here. It's been slowly trickling up here for the last let's see, the last 2 days, at least 48 hours or so. If we look at the same indicators in the same timeline, draw a line straight down, what do we have? We have a lower low. We have the same exact thing looking at the again the 4-hour RSI. Take this thing, draw it straight down. What do we have? We have price created, or excuse me, the RSI creating a series of lower lows. So in an uptrend here, which this has been, in that uptrend, looking at the bottom of that, that is hidden divergence, and in this case, hidden bullish divergence. So what does that suggest? That suggests price may end up breaking up, coming up and at least testing that $4,000. Again, that's one of the reasons why I say picking up a quick scalp trade here, buying at current prices, selling up here at about 4,000, targeting 4,000. Not a bad idea for a quick scalp trade, but do not get greedy. Get in and get out, because I can see this thing coming up, possibly double topping from this prior test here at 4,000 and then coming right back down. If we can break above, take out this prior high and get into this this resistance area between 4,000 and 4,120, at least consolidate into this zone, that'd be an extremely bullish sign, guys, if that can happen. Now let's wait and see if it does, especially if we can get that with volume. Obviously breaking above would be extremely bullish, but I'll accept even breaking that $4,000 psychological level and consolidating right on top of that. If that does happen, guys, obviously that's going to be a rather bullish sign. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap Bitcoin there. Let's quickly look at EOS. EOS, guys, has obviously been on a tear. It's been doing much better than Bitcoin has. Now, we did break above, or we did find resistance right there at that $3.70 range. Price came back down, and then it broke right back up. Right above, took out that $3.80 range, came up, hit right around $4, 401, wicked above it here, and then we knew that $4 range. I said last time that $4 was going to be a very strong resistance. Hit that resistance, came back down, and now what was resistance right at that the top of this zone at the $3.80. We knew that was a resistance. We've had this marked out for quite some time, just looking in the past. What was resistance is now acting as support. Now acting as support right around that 380. It wicked through it a few times, but literally sitting almost right on top of that 380. Again, what was resistance acting as support. So let's see if that can hold, guys. If that does hold, we may make another run coming up here and possibly trying to take out this this psychological support right there, resistance at about $4. And again, if we can break up above $4 on EOS and consolidate above a nice decisive break above, that's going to be a rather bullish sign and tell me this thing might have some legs. Now, looking at EOS, similar scenario with regard to volume as Bitcoin. We had a nice spike. EOS's volume actually doubled. I think we were at about 2.2 billion from under 1 billion the other day, guys. So it literally more than doubled on EOS. Now that volume has trickled back quite a bit, sitting at about 1.4 billion, but that is still much higher than it was even last week. So if we can again have this volume continue to stay elevated and take another shot at that $4 range, guys, that again would take out that $4, guys. That would again be a very bullish sign if we can take that out with volume. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see EOS come back up, test this prior high right around $4, hit that, and come right back down. Looking at our MACD and RSI, very similar to Bitcoin. Obviously created a higher high with price coming down. Looking at the MACD and the RSI in both scenarios, coming straight down from where that line on price was drawn. Looking at the MACD creating a lower low. Looking at the RSI creating a lower low. So again, guys, that is hidden bullish divergence. This being an uptrend. Looking at the bottom, hidden bullish divergence would suggest a possible little spike in price coming back up to retest that $4 resistance. And again, guys, if we can break above that $4, guys, it'd be a very bullish sign. To the downside, guys, I'm going to be watching very closely that 370. If we do end up breaking below 370, especially if we take out this order structure right here, coming back down to 340, somewhere thereabouts, guys, I do think, or excuse me, if we take out 370, I do think it'll be a very quick drop to about possibly 340, somewhere thereabouts. Now, if we break down the bottom of that 340, 350, what was resistance should act as support. If that breaks down, I think it'll be a very quick drop, possibly back down to $3. I'm not expecting that to happen anytime soon. EOS is again looking rather bullish overall, especially the fact that what was resistance at that 380 is now acting as support. So let's wait and see if we do get that that continuation to the upside, and if we can take out that $4 support. Again, guys, that'd be a very, very bullish sign if it does. And again, I do believe that EOS is looking rather bullish, as I said, guys, and this is not a bad time to slowly start dollar cost averaging in if you're expecting to hold for the long haul. If you're not, I would just kind of sit on my hands right now, possibly take a very quick scalp trade targeting that $4 resistance. But again, I would not get greedy at all, guys. I would just get in and get out if you take anything at all. The more conservative play is to protect your fiat, guys, and just wait and see which way the direction goes. This is really a telling time for the market to see how kind of this ends up playing out. If the volume can continue, now that we've had this little lull in that bullish momentum, see if that volume can continue, or see if it ends up doing what it's been doing many, many times in the past, and we just end up crashing right back down to where we were. So we'll have to wait and see kind of how this plays out, but there's no doubt, guys, that's certainly getting interesting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things there. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, would appreciate an upvote if you have enjoyed this content. Till next time, guys, please trade safe. Take care of yourselves. This is Workin, signing out.